I'm doing some experiments with Frit, powder Frit, for my next job. I'm going to go from a dark amber tint through yellow, orange, red and garnet red, and I'm going to do it light going to dark. So this is amber tint. I'm going to see the different intensities of colour I get and also how they blend with each other. So I'm going to put this on really quite thick at the top. So that's the dark amber tint. Now this is marigold yellow. And as you can see, they look exactly the same colour. And so you're kind of working blind when you're working with powders. The bigger, ooh, that didn't go so well. So that's the marigold yellow. Now, I'm going to do orange now. Starting to see a bit of a change in the colour of the powder, which is nice. This thing I'm using to shake the powder is a tea infuser, and it's just got a very nice fine mesh. So nice and thick at the top. Now red. And now garnet red. I'm just going to see how dark I can get this darkest colour. So this is for my Joan of Arc window, and the idea of the background done in these colours is they're flame colours, so they will, that's what they're hinting at, flames, but hopefully without being too hellfire, which is what they'd be if I did them in leaded glass. So I'll put that in the kiln, and it'll be really interesting to see how it comes out tomorrow. I'm going to do a few experiments to see what different effects I get. I'm going to save this. It's all mixed together, but as all I'm doing is experimenting, I'm going to reuse it. So on some of my scrap pieces, I'm going to see the different effects I can get. So I'm going to use the garnet colour. Where is it? Let's see, orange, red, garnet. Because that's quite nice and dark. Well, let me just put this. This is the mix. I think quite a lot of this is garnet, actually. I'm going to go straight from the garnet to the orange, missing out the red. Then I'm going to go to the yellow. Putting them on quite thick. Put a bit of yellow over there. Now I'm going to put a bit of red at the end. So mixing up the order so that it's not just going from dark to light, it's weaving between the different colours, just to see what it's like. Put a bit of red down here at the bottom. Now I'm going to try oh no, that was too hard. I'm going to try we'll just see what comes out. I really like those. I like the way you've got movement in the shading. This clearly needs a bit more blending, although there will be places where that will be fine. I almost like the fact that there's a randomness to it, because you can't really see what you're doing with the powder because it all looks the same colour. And I think that's going to give it a real feeling of flame, actually. This was quite interesting, where I don't like the markings I've made. I don't think they're going to work. But where there's this blending between the colours is really, really nice. And this piece I refired because it had gone bumpy. It's now nice and smooth. So I'll get on and paint this piece today, and then I can fire my lilies, and I will make a start on doing the frit work for the left hand upright window. Yeah, so happy with that. Because when you fuse glass to a high temperature, it changes shape. My idea for building this window is to make a lot of background sheets, oversized, and once they've been fired, then cut them down. So I'm just going to do some experimenting with this sheet and see how easy or difficult it is to cut down. Okay, so that's cut really nicely. This end of the sheet, I put the tint on, and you can only really see it here where it's thickest. So let me try a curved cut. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. Let me try this top edge. Let's see how close I can get it. I think I will need some grozers. So that's fine. I'm happy enough with that as a technique. I'm just looking at the thickness of it. So I've specially bought deep heart lead for this window because I don't want to have a situation where it won't fit in the lead, but that actually seems fine. Let me try it with one of the flowers. Right, I'm going to try it with the normal heart lead because that might be adequate. Right. Yeah, it doesn't like it, and the reason it doesn't like it is because it's bumpy. So although, well, it does fit in, but I don't want it to be at all compromised because of its thickness. It does feel all right though. It does seem okay. So maybe I don't need to use the thick heart. Thing is, I did a job in Frit's. So this is powdered Frit. So I did a job with really, really big fat Frit, like pieces that, well, I'll show you. It's big. So you can see those are really big. And so it really built up the thickness of the lead, and I had it really built up the thickness of the glass, and I just did struggle to get it into the lead. So I was anticipating that was going to be a problem, but it doesn't look like it will be. So so that's good really, because I don't know, you don't want to work with this if you don't have to. It would just make life a bit harder, and you'd have an awful lot of cementing to do. So now I've done my trial, I'm going to do the Frit for the first window, which I'm quite excited about because this is what I enjoy.